Hi, I'm Marissa, and this is Niki. Niki, if you could please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Niki FAD4601, and I'm a senior at Florida State University, and I'm from Cape Coral, Florida.
All right, so what originally brought you to FSU?
So I'm originally from up north. I used to live in Delaware, and I moved to Florida sophomore year of high school, and then when it was time to apply to schools, I applied to a bunch of places in Florida, and I wasn't sure where to go. So a lot of people were just telling me to go to FSU and how great of a school it was. So I came to FSU to get a great education.
Okay, so what was your initial goal in general when coming to college?
My initial goal was to pursue a nursing degree. I've always wanted to be a nurse since I was a little girl, and I've also wanted to expand my social life, and FSU was a great opportunity to get involved with the campus and clubs, and yeah.
Okay, so why'd you want to major in nursing?
I've always wanted to major in nursing because I have a desire to help people, and my passion is to have patience when I'm older. My mom always called me an old soul, so I really can communicate with people really well, and I think that being a nurse will allow me to be more myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, have you had any roadblocks along the way or possible doubts about being a nurse?
So basically, I applied to nursing after I got all my prereqs for the first 2 years, freshman and sophomore year. I applied to the nursing program at FSU, and I got through to the interview process, and then I knew I was weakest link, and I knew that I didn't get in after that. And so I basically got denied, and that was a big roadblock because I had to decide whether or not that I was going to pursue nursing still, or I was going to change a major, or I was going to do the accelerated program the year after. So it's a little stressful.
Okay, in the interview process, what was difficult for you? Why did you think you were the weakest link compared to other people?
I think that I was probably the weakest just because I was a little bit unprepared, and I was more nervous than the others, and I think that they were, I think at the end of the day, they were more interested in nursing than I was.
Mm-hmm. So if you were to pursue that eventually, how would you prepare better the next time?
I think that I would just not doubt myself, and I would have more confidence in myself, and just allow myself to be more prepared, mentally.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Have your goals changed at all since then, or are they pretty much stayed the same?
So I actually applied to nursing, and I also applied to communication science and disorders, and I got denied for nursing, but I got into the CSD program, so that is where I'm at now, and that is my major. And I also have become more certain for what I'm going to do, and I've never thought about going to grad school, and now that I'm in this major, I have to go to grad school if I want a really good job, so that's what I'm going to do as of now.
All right, so in other words, from that is how have you paved your way to success, or have you prepared for your future?
Since I was little, I've always been able to go to really good schools. My family and their support have really helped me. I want to be where I am today without my family. I also had the opportunity to go to a great school for college, so I've been really prepared. I've changed mentally, I've changed physically, I've changed just a lot. My dedication, I literally live by my GPA. My GPA is very important. I always get things done. And I always ask for help if I need it.
So what individuals have helped you get to this point in your college career?
A lot of individuals. I would say my mom, number one. Teachers, professionals, classmates. My major is communication, and we always talk about everything. We always help each other if we need help, and professionals is a really big one. I was able to experience professionals when I studied abroad, and I always experience professionals through my teachers, and the teachers are SLPs, they're audiologists, and they also have their PhDs. So they're really smart people, and they know their stuff, and they know how to prepare us for grad school, and they know how to prepare us for life in general. So.
Okay, so going off of that, is it really nice having people in all your classes that are in the same major? Is that a benefit to you?
Yes. Also, when I talk to other people about their majors, they're like, oh, I really don't know anybody in my major, and it's oh, well, I know everybody in my major. I know everybody. If I don't know a name, I know their face. So I think that my major is very close, and it's a really good thing because when I hear that from other people, I'm like, oh, well, you should be close to people in your major. You should be helping each other out. You should know the teachers really well. So, yeah.
So is there a specific career that you're trying to pursue after you graduate, or?
So basically, my major is communication science, and I could either do speech pathology or audiology, but I've decided to go shoot for my master's and go to grad school for speech pathology.
Okay, and why is that?
So I didn't get into the nursing program, and I got into CSD, so that's the number one reason. And then I've also experienced someone who has had a stroke. His name was Steve, and just seeing the difference between, you know, before he had the stroke, when he had the stroke, and after he had the stroke, and just the hope he gained and the ability that he gained back, and everything just kind of is really eye-opening, and it's miraculous. And in general, like, communication is just really important, and like that's like our main thing as human beings. So I just really like the communication aspect of it, and I want to work with people more emotionally and not physically. And I feel like nursing was more on the physical part, and I am more of like an emotional person. I can read people very well. I can communicate well with people. I also was able to get the chance to go study abroad in London, and over there really kind of helped me to be like, okay, like I could see myself doing this. I was able to go to clinics, I was able to go to a hospital, and I was able to see professionals in a different country, and just their viewpoint and the way they do things over there is really like put, you know, like it's really helped me like, hey, I want to do this. And yeah, it made me have a bigger perspective on things, and it made me know for a fact I want to work with stroke patients, and I want to work with adults. And so yeah.
Have you done any like shadowing or mentoring to get to that point to prepare you for real thing?
I've done some volunteering like for a practicum, and that was really cool. I did volunteering with like toddlers and infants at Early Head Start in Tallahassee. I feel like London was probably the most experience I got from like clinics and stuff. I actually feel like I'm lacking in like shadowing a little bit, but I think that having teachers as SLPs and audiologists really help, and that they like keep our focus on things, and they help us through things, and like there's opportunity to volunteer at the clinic, and like I signed up for that, so I'm hoping to get that.
Right. Well, you kind of already answered my questions. I was going to say what experiences have led you to want to do this, but do you have anything other than that would kind of help you want to do communication sciences?
Yeah, there have been a few experiences in my life where, you know, people have come to me for things, and I think that I'm very warming, and I think that I'm able to help people in a specific way that, you know, I'm very understanding, and I'm always there for people. So I think that experiencing people in my life that have came to me and asked me for help and asked me for my guidance is like a big reason why I think that communication is really where I want to be in.
Okay. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hey,
big question.
See myself with a master's degree, and I hopefully will get a job somewhere. I love traveling, so I would be down to move anywhere, Hawaii, North Carolina, anywhere. So I see myself definitely having a job and working. So,
all right, working as speech pathologist?
Yes, speech language pathologist.
Okay, and do you have a specific area that you want to go to? I know you said you're down to.
Yes, I definitely want to work with adults that have strokes and that acquire aphasia, and I'm really interested in adults. I definitely want to experience kids more, but I know that my mom calls me an old soul, so I know that I want to work with adults, and I communicate with adults. They're more wise, and it's just not easier, but it takes less patience to work with adults. So I think that's like where I should be.
Right. So I know you originally were thinking about working with kids. Is that because you tried to and realized that it wasn't for you, or?
I think, well, I really liked volunteering at Early Head Start, and I thought that was like really good place to kind of start. And then I went to London, and working with kids with disabilities is extremely difficult. It takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of energy, and I'm not saying that I can't do it, but I'm saying that I rather work with adults because it's just very, very different, and they have to acquire something that they've already learned, versus kids have to acquire something that they haven't learned, and they have to acquire that with a disability and with a lot of complications. So it's a lot harder, and it's a lot more work And I'm not saying I can't do it, but I just think that I would be better with adults.
Okay, so last question. Overall, what are you most excited for in your future?
Make that money
Mm-hmm.
and just to experience like people and to just get like get a bigger perspective and just to learn more about others and experience it so I can become a better person and I can help others and I can just learn. I just want to learn and grow and become the best therapist I can be for others.
All right, well, that'll come to the end of our TED Talk. Thank you so much for coming today, Niki.
Thank you, Marissa.